Hey everyone, welcome to Reverse Homesteading. Today I had a little bit of an early morning tragedy. I was taking the net off and it sort of pulled the top off one of the top branches, not the central branch thankfully, one of the top side branches from my pink lady apple. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, that looks like a cutting. So repair the top of the tree. As I've said recently, what you need to do is cut it at an angle so that the water runs off the side of the branch, not into the next node where the leaf is. So that angle there is probably good enough. Fairly close to the node. Might be a little close, but I think it's going to be okay. It won't be too hot today, so the plant won't be too stressed. Shouldn't lose too much moisture. This branch here will eventually be more horizontal, so the classical espalier type for pears and apples. So there's our central stem. Thankfully that wasn't the one that was broken. So these others will be a lot more horizontal. Sadly it's broken now, but it'll come back next year. Had a couple of other things to do this morning, so I've done all those. Back home to deal with this, if it becomes an apple tree, this potential cutting, it will potentially throw back to its parents. It may not give you good fruit, it might be just awful, but it might be just really good. Despite the fact of not having much space here, I am going to experiment. So the Lady Williams and the Golden Delicious apple were crossed by John Cripp a while ago, and this is the baby that they got, the Pink Lady apple, which I believe is the best-selling apple in Australia. It's a very sweet, long storage apple. Not a heritage, I don't think. So, that's in my coffee. Great. Not unusual. So just take all of the bottom-ish things off because that will sap the energy of the plant. Just cut the burnt bits off here. Make sure I don't ruin the growth tip too much. Sometimes I cut half the leaves off because it stops transpiration being a problem. Transpiration is basically perspiration for plants. It loses too much moisture. That's probably still too many leaves. I'll take these bottom ones off. There we go. That's probably a better cutting. Not really sure if it'll work, but it's worth a go. Last little bit of the process. We have some fine seedling mix here because you'll let the new little roots come out quite easily if it's not a big chunky potting mix. Here's some hormone rooting powder. You can get softwood and hardwood. I kind of don't really care, but if you really cared, you might do probably a hardwood cutting for this one. It is kind of softwood, it's this year's growth, but anyway, it's a broken bit is what it is. So this is not in its original container. I try not to dip things straight into the original container. I take them out, and this is left over from last time. As you can tell, I'm not fastidious about garden hygiene or whatever you call it. Oh, a little bit just fell in there. This has been soaking in water for a little bit, so it should be well hydrated. I'll just perhaps help that along a little bit. Paint this on with my fingers. When I worked in the plant nursery for about 6 years, it was a native plant nursery, so we really didn't do fruits and veggies, but we did a lot of cuttings. We used to put cuttings in like a big white bucket of diluted bleach. I'm not really sure how much we used to use because I usually wasn't the one who mixed it up, but very dilute bleach mix, and that can get rid of fungal diseases and anything else that's on there. But I don't bother with that step because I'm not a fan of bleach and other things like that. Gardening organically, I have heard that a little bit of bleach is okay, very slight amount, but I just don't bother, and I don't really seem to have had much issue with that. So there's our little cutting. I'll put it in a slightly humid spot in my little greenhouse, and it'll be and running once we've watered it in. So we will put it away and wait for it to grow. As I said, a lot of cherry trees are good to cut back in summer. Some are, some aren't. This is a Stella tree, so that will be good to cut back. These are called fruiting spurs. That's where the fruit is produced. So depends upon, again, what kind of variety you have, but they produced best on wood that's 2 or 3 years old. But this weird little thing, it came with this, so it goes off at a right angle. I will espalier the tree this way, so that's obviously going off in the wrong direction for that. So I will cut this off. I was going to cut it off when I first got it, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll get cherries on that wood, and we did. So that's been a bit odd for a while, I would say, but I'm going to cut it back here, just because not much else needs trimming. And tip pruning is best for cherries because they do fruit on the older wood, most of them. So I'm just going to try this one-handed. So I'll take it back to here, and it's like most things when you cut them back, you don't want the water to run into the join there. So might be a bit closer to the node would be good. Sorry, I'm not left-handed. So cut down at an angle like that, so the rain should run off the back here and not straight into the joint. If you cut it in that direction, the rain would run straight into the joint and you could get rot in the end of the tree there. So I think that'll be enough for this one. It doesn't have many stems, and it's a bit sparse. So that'll probably be the summer pruning for it now. This is my Lapins cherry, which did not fruit this year, but cutting them back straight after they're fruiting is the best idea. So even though it didn't fruit, this is the same time of year that the other one was fruiting. So being a stone fruit like nectarines and apricots, we are going to put this into a fan shape to espalier it. So it's basically doing that now, but I'm just going to rein it in a little bit. It doesn't have a proper support for espalier yet, because I really wanted to have star pickets for that. Now I have the star pickets. Hubby's busy working inside, so I'm just going to prune this, and then hopefully he'll have time today or tomorrow to put the star pickets in, so I can show you then what I'm going to do with the fan shape. But I'll just take these really long branches down a little bit, remembering that it will fruit on the older wood. So this upright here did give us some leaves this year, and I was thinking of cutting it back so it has a nicer, nicer look to it, because when I got it, it was just a stick, just a vertical stick, but it was $10 Australian, so I was pretty happy about that. So this will probably be more of an upright here instead of this, obviously, if it's not going to shoot properly. So I'll take this one back, it goes out to here. It's quite big, so if you've got that as one of your main uprights, you want this a little bit less, so the fan shape. So we'll do the same thing with not allowing water to come into the join there too much. Ooh, we'll need to sharpen these. So the moral of that story is always have your secateurs clean and sharp. That is not great. So I've nicked hubby's secateurs, the new sharp ones, and I will make a better go of that. Some people sterilise their secateurs by pouring a little isopropyl alcohol or methylated spirits on them. Personally, I don't, but yeah, I'll fix this up. Now that's a whole lot better. Nice clean cuts. As for the rest of it, I think it's probably only this branch that I'll take something off. So that one needs to be tallest for now, and this is the first year I've shaped it, so if you make a mistake now, it's not too bad, I would say. Bringing that up to around about where the other branch is would look symmetrical. So going for this area here. I think that's a little short, but I am having trouble with the new sharp secateurs now too, so I think they have been used for chopping up big chunky trees, just a little bit too much. So perhaps we'll get some dedicated ones for the garden rather than just chopping up weedy trees. So that's a little short, but hopefully it'll forgive me and give me a nice fan shape eventually. Well, I hope you're having fun in your garden, whether you've got hot desert winds or snow and ice. Let me know. It's always interesting to hear the different challenges that people are getting through with their gardening. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.